Welcome to Radio Chatter. We're Ventrax Offroad, your go-to podcast for everything off-road in the UAE.
Each week we're out in a new location, deep in the dunes, high in the mountains, or somewhere completely off the grid, talking 4x4 news, off-road tips, gear reviews, and the wildest stories.
From sketchy recoveries to epic campsites, we cover it all, sharing real adventures.
Debating the best setups and figuring out what went wrong this time.
So buckle up,
air down,
and let's get into it. This is Radio Chatter.
Hi guys, welcome back to Radio Chatter, episode 4. So we actually didn't introduce ourselves in any of the podcasts previously, and it's probably good to know who's who, who's talking about what car. So yeah, let's get started.
So Declan, you've seen this on the reels, you've seen this on the other episodes of the podcast. I'm in the FJ Cruiser that's currently set up behind. Been in Dubai for 4 years, and I'm a proud Welshman because I know it's going to come up.
Here we go.
So I'm proud to be Welsh.
Proud to be Welsh.
When he says he's South African. He cheats in the rugby, which is hold.
Oh, there we go.
This is his like lucky memento to show you that he's South African.
I'm Ruben. I'm proudly South African. Drive the Pajero short wheelbase, 3.5 litre, 2015 model. Been in Dubai for 7 years, off-roading for 4 years. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm Toby. I drive the Jeep JK. I've been in Dubai just over 3 years and off-roading coming up to about 2 years.
Cool.
So
It was getting into off-roading for all of us, right? It's like
Yeah, but you've known one another for 2 years now.
2 years,
it's a bit longer than that, I think. Now,
Maybe 3 years.
Yeah, okay.
You've been here 3 years, right? Yeah. So I met you pretty much before you moved here.
Yeah.
On a boat party.
Yeah.
Before you even knew the world of off-roading existed.
Exactly.
I guess.
And I got introduced to it by accident.
Yeah, you got introduced to it by
RDC when we...
Well, kind of RDC, but also like I was like, oh, I need to make friends. Hey, Toby, do you want to come to Dragon Mart with me?
Yeah. The most fun trip in Dubai is the trip to Dragon Mart.
We went and had a look at some off-road lights and radio bits. And
I know. And to this day, I question...
we bonded over a bit of Call of Duty conversation, and that led into asking if you wanted to come and spend 3 days in the desert with me.
It's like an introduction
for the RDC competition. It was how we
and that was the first RDC that Declan did. And the interesting thing about that as well is that it's interesting seeing the change in off-roading driving style from then. Because when we were initially going out, it was Al Qudra area and very new.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and like learning, how to tackle dunes and still not really knowing too much about the whole experience, and obviously taking experience from the other guys that have been doing some really long time. And then to now you're leading the drives in the group and you've led the team for the RDC.
Yeah. It's
cool to see.
It's a big step forward. Where we are now, and like making podcasts, making off-road tutorials. I didn't really think. You remember I shared the picture in the group chat the other day. We'll overlay it now. It's 3 years ago was my first like FJ drive.
Yeah.
Obviously I had the Jeep before that, but like 3 years ago was my first off-road drive, and I did Al Fakar to Al Qudra.
Yeah. Nice.
With Andy and whatnot. And there's an awesome shot. Andy got an amazing shot of me on the top of a dune. From a distance, it's like zoomed in on the camera, so it looks like I'm on this massive dune, and all the sand is flaying up behind me. Honest to God, that dune is like this tall.
But it felt cool.
It felt awesome. Like he was miles away, so it made it look really good.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, the difference in driving. I mean, we've upgraded big time since then with bumpers, roof rack, suspension, draw systems.
You get drawn into it so quickly. You start off with like, oh no, just a few little upgrades I'm going to do to the rig, small things, and the next minute it's like, okay, I have to get this really expensive heavy bumper with winch and cables and lights, and
we're discussing that recently, weren't we? What Ruben's talking about looking at a small upgrade for the Pajero.
Instagram is so scary sometimes when you go through and you just see, they've done this, they've done this, and then you inquire about them, and then like, it's so many thousand dirhams.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking, you start making sums.
Yeah.
I could not eat for the next 2 months, but at least I'll have a nice bumper.
Yeah, that bumper will last you a lifetime.
Exactly.
So, but I think that's the best thing though, because it's a hobby that you get into, which allows you to disconnect a lot from what we do.
Yeah.
And with that hobby, it means that you can completely disconnect on the weekends or after work, or the best nights are on a Friday night after a long week of work. Just head to the desert, have a little barbecue, just disconnect completely from that.
Have a small fire, sat with your friends.
Yeah.
And like the nice thing as well, like we all drive like big enough 4x4s that we take some friends out who aren't necessarily into kind of off-roading and help them kind of disconnect as well. Like the reason we set up Ventrax Off-Road was there's so many people in the UAE with a 4x4 who don't really know what they're doing or how to get their car in forward drive. The amount of people we've recovered and rescued. And like you go over and they're like, oh, can you pull me out with a rope? And you go over to the car, you put the car in four-wheel drive and you drive out. And they're like, oh, how did you do that? And it's like, we want to be able to offer that knowledge to the rest of the UAE, I guess, and hopefully the world. YouTube, come on, give us some likes. And allow others to kind of disconnect, get out to the desert with their family, with their friends, and just spend some time chatting.
And it's important out here in the city that we live in the country that we live in, working so much, you know, the whole week you're just busy, and even after work you're not really disconnecting. I know it's the same in other countries as well, but here especially, you just you work so much that you need to have that proper disconnect on the weekend after work. Just go out with your friends and sit around a fire. How many
years, Ruben, do you work 6 days a week?
4 years, 4.5 years, 6 days a week. Look, I think the biggest thing is, if you need to do it, you need to do it, obviously. But I think the important thing there is to have a group of friends, or to join a community, or join a group of guys that go out and just chat to people. Just say, hey man, I've had a really tough week this week. Just need to see a fire, or I just need to have a coffee with someone, or just something like that. I think that's something that's missed on a lot.
But I think one of the best things that ties into that is actually the community that is built here when it comes to off-roading as well. Because you can go to any group, any off-roading group. If you're part of a small group, 4 or 5 people, and you come across another group in the middle of the desert, you're going to be sat chatting to them for 1 hour before you go off again. And that's why it's important. A lot of the events that go on. You know.
For example, I mean, I was randomly scrolling Instagram and I came across this Al Mazrei account, exit 116 in Ras Al Khaimah, and I said, look, man, it's on a Friday afternoon. Thankfully, I was without a job at that point, so I had Friday afternoons off. And we went through, and what an event.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, unbelievable. Never knew this thing goes on.
An epic adventure that we went and checked out. I mean, we were covered in sand.
And we made a whole reel out of it.
Smell of ethanol.
And some of the builds, and like, I think as well, the passion that those guys had for just having fun in the desert and the sand, it was really nice to see.
It's a different type of off-roading. Different type.
That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
You need proper rigs for this stuff. You need proper rigs. Look at that!
More the kind of overlanding through the desert and the exploration side, as opposed to like the adrenaline kind of dune bashing, or the adrenaline like get up a dune as fast as you can.
And do a donut halfway up as you go up.
We'll link the reel actually in the description, because it's worth a watch.
There's some awesome footage in that as well. Like, one of the guys, literally, as Ruben just said, doing a donut on the side of a dune face, rolled his car. The community all run in. They throwing sand on his car. They put the fire out on the car. They tilt the car back over just with pure pure human power, just rocking it back up.
People wanted to see it go up and down again.
And within minutes his car was back up again, and it was gone.
And I don't think his other wheels touched the sand before he started it already. It's like, and then it just went. But it was awesome.
It was an awesome adventure. Talking of adventures, we've done a few awesome adventures in the last few months since the last podcast.
Been busy.
We've been really busy. I've been trying to make a vlog, so stay tuned for that in the coming weeks.
I've started a new job. You're about to start a new job.
It's been very busy outside of off-roading stuff.
Life got up.
I mean, you're a dad of 2 kids now. Dog and a cat.
Yes, I was looking at you like, this is a fun side joke. Adopted
fur babies.
Little 6-week-old kitten about 2 weeks ago. Shout out to Anna for rescuing her in Dubai Hills. So we called her Felicia. So for reference, anyone who knows why she's called Felicia.
Maybe we'll end on. When we end it, we'll go.
If you don't know, stay to the end and you'll understand why she's called Felicia. But touching back on our adventures, we dropped a video of us heading out into the mountains a couple of weeks back.
I think it was a big learning school for you, though.
Yes.
I think you convinced some people in your
convoy. No one in my car, in the convoy, everyone in the convoy agreed that I needed to lift the suspension on the FJ.
You needed completely new suspension on the FJ. The thing was a lowrider going through the mountains.
mole crawler.
Yeah.
Big time mole crawler. It was as low as that little FJ there.
Without spacers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time. We learned a few things in terms of just filming and making a video as well.
I think it was our first proper adventure video. We've
Yeah.
done like short reels and we've done some short videos, but this was the proper, okay, we're going out to film an adventure style video with some conversation and tips and stuff kind of peppered in between.
Definitely, like, since then, I've noticed I look at your car from time to time. I look at Ruben's car and you can see camera mount, camera mount. Like, just slowly but surely, we're accumulating. While we're accumulating off-road upgrades, we're also accumulating camera mounts everywhere on the car. I was actually thinking about it the other day. Like, do I need to peel them off for summer or just leave them there? Like, there we're at. But yeah, on the off-road trip that we did to. We actually went and explored a new kind of wadi. It's well known to us. We hadn't been there. I went and explored a new wadi. I was like, what? Wadi Eli or Wadi?
Yeah, Wadi Eli.
Yeah. Oh,
the pronunciation is probably very wrong. But
I butcher everything as well. Like, I'm not even close to ever getting it right. But we had a small explore. There's a cool little like rock climb as soon as you get into that area of the wadi.
That was at Shoka, yeah?
At Shoka, yeah. And I decided I'd go up it in the FJ, and within 5 meters of climbing up it, the bottom of the center of the FJ just completely nothing, and I was going nowhere. I
think what upset him the most as well was seeing the Jeep just climb up it with ease.
Yeah, so I backed out the way and I said, Toby, look, give it a go with your suspension with your lifted vehicle, and he
crawled through.
You didn't even think. I don't think you even accelerated.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was just going straight.
Just crawled up it, and
in drive,
in drive, yeah.
that certainly set the bar at that point. That I was like, I need to lift the suspension. I need to sort the car out.
Yeah.
I didn't even attempt it. I just went around.
Yeah.
It was that same.
There's a B track for everything, man. There's no shame in going for the B track.
I shamed you, but but yeah, like that's one of many reasons of why we decided to. Sorry, Ruben got stung by a wasp yesterday.
Jeez,
PTSD is kicking in.
Yeah, he's getting scared of the wasp. But that's what led into getting the FJ lifted. So to touch on it really lightly, I installed Dobinsons IMS suspension. It was a 2 to 2.5 inch lift. I used Torque Auto Care Middle East.
They're quite good, huh?
They were good. They did it.
I've seen the sticker on multiple cars when we've gone out. I saw your sticker as well. Yeah?
So the last guys we had on the podcast, Harry and Jack, they get a lot of their servicing done and a lot of their work, and they were sponsored by them for the RDC. They got sponsored by them.
They had a couple of sponsors though.
Yeah, so I just decided I would go check them out. I actually got a few quotes from everywhere because I was curious to see.
I think Torque definitely came back as the best quote in terms of quality and what you were getting from them as a garage.
But also, I think the nice thing about these garages is once you go to a place where you know a bunch of your mates have gone as well, you kind of trust them a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's why I think our network of where you go to take your car has kind of, because for me, I take it to Yasser Auto in Sharjah because I know every Pajero guy goes there.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a drive out of JVC, but it's okay. At least I know I get good quality and they help me when I get there.
Yeah.
It's not you can get your car in a week's time or 3 days or 4 days. They help you as soon as they can.
And they've done an amazing job with this Pajero.
They've done a lot of work.
You're moving to what, nearly 300,000 kilometers.
She's getting up there.
She's getting up there, old lady.
It's almost as old as you.
No, not quite.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's getting almost to 300,000 kilometers now. I think it's 253, 254. I clocked it last week. I took a video, but there was a police car, so I didn't take the video. I panicked. I was like, out of 250,000 kilometers, the last kilometer that I want to take a video, there's a police car. I wasn't going fast.
No.
I know, we believe you. Yeah. It's following all the rules.
This car doesn't go fast.
But it goes everywhere.
It's the classic sticker of
I hate that sticker.
Don't go fast, but go anywhere. You drive a Jeep, so you should have that sticker.
Emma's going to love that because you just butchered another saying.
Yeah, I'm renowned for never getting a saying right or repeating it 3 times in 3 different ways and just dreadful.
You're completely butchering it from beginning to end.
We don't even correct you anymore. We just,
Yeah, we know.
But anyway, we've talked a lot about your car. We talked a lot about my car. My car's the best, obviously.
that's why that does most work, yeah?
Yeah.
But
Full suspension rebuild.
that's it. In
Don't know
4
if you guys-
in 4
And
years.
steering rack and control arms.
Yeah.
What else was that?
Yeah, because you gotta fix those things.
Oh, yeah.
But
we
if you guys knew, he did his suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you in the video now. Everything's paused.
Yes, we'll overlay it.
Just quiet.
Sorry for anyone watching.
But talked a lot about that. Toby, where are you at with your car?
Yeah, so I think we mentioned it. Did we mention it in one of the other podcasts? Yeah, about the winch. So
Yes.
Declan broke it, yeah?
yeah, Declan broke it because of his incompetence with off-roading. He'll blame it on the suspension, which is fine. We'll let him take that.
Like CM car.
But the
Because Declan doesn't deflate.
yes, he didn't deflate that day. Actually, let's bring that up. Hashtag Declan didn't deflate. No, so we did a bit more thorough investigation in the car park one evening. And after removing the bumper, removing the winch, the actual plate where the winch sits is just completely knackered. It's been bent up somehow. The force that was pulling on the winch has just completely bent up the winch plate. So sounds like I'm going to need a new bumper, a new winch, maybe. I don't know. I've managed to kind of put it back together at home. Bit of a bodge job.
Yeah.
But until I get it actually plumbed in and working again, we don't know.
Winches are
if
pretty
the gears still-
hardy.
They're pretty hardy until you snap it wide open and loads of sand gets in it. For about a month. So
But some new grease.
yeah, some new grease.
Wash it.
Easy. Yeah, stick it in the shower. So yeah, we're going to be looking at a new bumper. Most likely, Smitty built make a really nice front bumper.
I actually didn't know this. I did not know that they
It's
make
really
bumpers.
fun and it's really affordable, and it's got the same light holes that I have at the moment, which is nice. The only thing is, I do like the Rubicon front bumper. I like the red hooks. I just like the look of the Rubicon front bumper, but the Smitty built one might be better to match the winch.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But yeah,
I mean, it's the style of your car as well.
Yeah, it does work quite well. The way
Black-
it fits
black
in
as
with
well,
the
yeah?
fenders, yeah, black.
Yeah.
But in terms of Jeep upgrades,
What do you think? He's going to get white?
Maybe same color as his body.
Actually, would look kind of cool.
I don't know if it would.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I want you to
style.
change your grill. You need to get a new grill. I don't like the stock standard.
I was thinking of one of the black grills, but the problem is when I've looked at some of them, obviously you can't get an angry grill.
You don't want to be an angry bird.
I'm not being an angry grill. I have my thoughts about it. I'll share those private.
But you're quite a grumpy guy. I thought it would match your personality.
Anyway, and the black bumper and the black grills, they look nice, but again, I just feel like they look a bit cheap sometimes.
Yes.
I like what you've done. I think you can, because you have a lot of black accents on your car,
Yes.
which is quite cool.
The grill does need a bit of a touch up though, because where the winch has been on it, it's just been battering it. But
Yeah.
so for now, I'm relying on my rope, which I was gifted from Andy, who we will actually be featuring in a future episode at his new site. So
His
stay
new-
tuned.
That's
I
exciting,
can't
actually.
let too much out yet.
Yeah.
We'll wait until we're there.
That's really exciting.
Hopefully, in the future, we'll have an indoor
Yes,
space
for summer.
where we have some equipment around us,
Yeah,
behind us,
car related equipment,
car-related things with us.
Like spanners.
like spanners and more spanners.
Yeah,
I've got 3 sat here right now, so more.
we'll add Andy in. We'll have 4.
But hopefully that as well will open up some more opportunities for us to do a few more podcasts with guests. So we're
Yes.
looking at like the Desert Dudes,
Yes.
the guys who organise the RDC.
Yeah.
They'd be really good to chat with, just to speak about any future events they've got going on. We can discuss the RDC that's already happened and go a bit
Yeah.
more in depth about the
We
results.
should probably touch on a little bit. Let's touch on the results a little bit because Ruben and I are proud of it.
100%. I mean, we came sixth.
Sixth
Not
sixth
bad.
place
Not bad.
for turning up the night before.
Mm.
Ruben on the fly navigated it from his phone.
And there's a couple of translation issues that happened between the driver and co-pilot.
Well, like
Yeah.
left and right.
Yeah,
No,
left for me is right for Declan.
Yeah.
Declan, we need to go left, and then
When you say Deck go left, he has to take his hands off the wheel and go like this. Just like,
they said we got a technical penalty for exiting the track.
I never looked into the actual route to check this.
I mean, we're not here to dispute anything. We
No,
accept it.
No,
accept
we
it,
accept it.
but
We're
we
happy
have
with it.
questions.
Yeah, Harry and Jack will leave that we'll leave that for when they join the podcast. Like, I'm sure they'll be on the podcast again.
And when we bring the desert dudes, we can go. You can go through with them in detail.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
Show me
the proof.
Yeah. We'll leave that for the next one. But we're talking Ventrax Off-Road are going to enter the RDC 2025.
Yeah.
Yes.
2026.
2026.
6.
Yeah.
6.
The last flag say 2024.
This is January. No, this is 2025.
Doesn't say it on this because this is a new flag. We got new flags made.
Why are we jumping?
I could not understand why.
I was like looking at the flag and then I realised there's nothing to do with it. We got new flags made.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to what we were discussing. So,
the rope.
Yeah, rope. And so initially maybe a new area to be filming in.
Yes.
And guests. We can bring people on. And speaking of guests and ropes, all tied into one. Yeah, my rope is knackered. I need a new one. I will overlay a photo of how disgusting and dirty and used it is. It's probably prone to snap any minute.
It's because you get stuck with it.
No, it's because I'm always pulling out this guy.
Oh.
And based on that, I need a new rope. And some recommendations from the off-road rope from Tom, who we also want to get on the podcast to talk a little bit about the rope and why it's so good.
Just the difference between different ropes that you can get in this region.
Because you can get your cheap ones on Amazon for 150, 200.
Yeah.
Dragon Mutt specials. They're not the same as a proper kinetic rope.
The off-road rope, kinetic rope, small plug about it, 25% stretch. Why that matters? If you know, you know. We'll talk about it in the next episode when we get Tom on.
Yep.
And we go through that and we'll really discuss it because the difference that it makes is just amazing. I mean, even on the RDC, our teammate, right? Like
Marcus,
we used this rope for majority of recoveries.
I think he bought one as well.
And by the end of the drive, he was like, "Where did you buy this from?"
Yeah.
And Tom was there. He was marshalling for the event, and he sponsored the event as well. And yeah, immediately Marcus was like, "I'm buying one." Didn't hesitate. So yeah, that's to come to the future, and we're hoping to get a few more people on as well.
I mean, there's a couple of exciting things coming up. For one, I'm really excited about Stars Overland. I think it's going to be cool. I think they're going to be quite important in the off-roading community if you're into that type of off-roading.
Yeah, keep an eye out for what's going on socials with Stars Overland and what they're going to be offering as well.
Go check them out on Instagram. Give them a follow.
Yeah.
It's exciting what they're doing. There's a nice team of guys there setting up as well.
Again, people that actually care about the community.
Yes.
And want to provide a proper solution, a proper off-road solution garage.
Yeah. Proper off-road, like overlanding solution. And it's in the name. And it's going to be a big game changer. So yeah, super excited for that. We've got a few other bits that we want to drop in the future. We've got a few more reels coming out. We've dropped a few reels since over the last couple of weeks, since the last episode of Radio Chatter. We did a deflate reel. We've done what have you done? You did
I did like a fun like from city to desert to mountains to beach.
So make sure you go check our Instagram out. We've got stuff being dropped there all the time as well. And there's a new vlog. I'm doing a vlog recently. You guys featuring it obviously here and there. That's a bit more
of a personal project for you, isn't it?
More of a personal project for me. It's going to be posted on Ventrax Off-Road. There's off-roading in it. There's not off-roading in it. I did a cool adventure up to Silla, which is on the border of Qatar, with the family recently, and that was an awesome adventure. And me and Emma vlogged that whole thing. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to drop that very soon hopefully after this episode. And I think we've covered everything we wanted to talk about. I think so.
One thing I want to ask, so I don't feel too bad about my mileage on my Pajero.
Yeah.
If your car has more than 250,000 kilometers, leave us a comment, make year, and how many kilometers, how many kilometers
English escaping me this morning.
Man, it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday. I reset on Monday mornings and I get my full vocab of English again for that. But yeah, leave us a comment, your car, your year, how many kilometers you've driven, and then we can compare notes with one another.
Because I've seen some people get their rigs up to like 500,000.
Yeah,
they're still going strong.
Especially with the Japanese cars.
Yeah. Don't start. He's trying to plug. He's trying to plug.
Anything Japanese? 100%. Anyway, look, we've been Ventrax Off-Road. This has been Radio Chatter. I'm Declan.
I'm Ruben.
I'm Toby.
And we
been lekker.
have loved having you.
Oh, and if you have any video suggestions, any reel suggestions, leave them in the comments.
Yeah.
We're always looking for new ideas for reels. We've got a lot of ideas we want to put out in the next couple of months, especially over summer. But if there's anything else you want to see, let us know.
Yeah, we've been holding off on a little bit on the content because we know summer's coming. So we're not sitting in the sun like this.
Yeah.
It's 8:15 a.m. and it's 32 degrees. So it's getting warm.
It's a hot 32 degrees.
Yeah. We've even got the sun on us for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, as I say,
we're Ventrax Offroad.
We're Ventrax Offroad.
We'll catch you in the next one.
Yes.
Radio chat.
Science in the sand.
Okay, shit.
Let's go. Bottle in my hand. Let that engine roar loud. Then start rising. We're tearing up the land. Pedal to the metal.